Welcome everyone to this Czechoslovakian episode of the Caravan Tour of Terror, a show that finds us touring the globe through the medium of horrific, chilling and disturbing entertainment. My name's Donald, I'm the driver on this quest. Joining me at my side as always with a road atlas on his lap and a reincarnated carp down his trousers is my navigator Ali. Say hello, Ali.
Greetings, enlightened one.
Easier than finding out the the Czech word for hello, is it?
Yes. Hello, my enchantress.
Yeah, you might have noticed that this is a Czechoslovakian episode, which is a nation that no longer exists. That's because we're here to watch The Cremator, a movie made in 1969 from Czechoslovakia, with a star turn from Rudolf Hruzinski. I think I got that okay.
Yeah, probably not bad.
We've pulled up the old wagon in Camping Drusus. Look around. There's Wi-Fi. It's free.
There's not Wi-Fi because we're in Czechoslovakia.
Well, okay, sorry, yeah. Wait, we're not time-traveling caravan.
This week, we're the caravan tour of time.
Oh, God. Let's go have a bite to eat in the restaurant, Gusta.
So I just woke up. Where is our beautiful camping site?
We're just outside Prague.
Nice.
But you wouldn't know it. We can go have some Svíčková.
So we're not in Slovakia then?
No. You heard of Svíčková? Braised sirloin in a creamy sauce with root vegetables and bread dumplings. That's a hearty, hearty meal, and I approve.
Is that what your face is covered in?
Yeah, if you notice any cream and bread all over my face, that would be why, yes.
On the way here, we stopped at 7 drive-through
Svíčková.
Svíčková. You have to say it with that intonation.
Svíčková. Well, that's probably how you say it.
Like someone has just sneezed.
There's a mini brewery.
Svíčková.
Do you want some prize-winning beer? This place is fucking brilliant. We're just going to become the caravan tour of Czechoslovakia now.
But we're not here. We're not here for food and culture.
Yes, we're here for the cremator. Fine, Ali, get us started on the cremator, you bastard. I'm just going to be munching on my dumplings.
Well, it's my turn to butcher some names. This week we watched
dare you?
The 1969 dark comedy from Juraj Herz. I know I got the last part right. The Cremator, which is based on a novel by Ladislav Fuchs.
That one sounded a bit more dodgy.
Not saying it the other way. But yeah, this tells the story of I'm going to call him Roman to start with, who is a cremator in Czechoslovakia, in Prague, during the 30s. Yeah, 30s Czechoslovakia, and he absolutely adores his work. And he doesn't just see it as work; he sees it as like a calling. Like he is freeing people by
What's his
cremating
work?
them. He's a cremator.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know. It's shocking. But yeah, he's like an evangelical.
Yeah, that's a good
cremator.
word for it. Yeah.
And is also, he makes very clear he is an abstinent.
Yep.
A word that is apparently borrowed from another language, because he just says the word abstinent a lot.
From smoking and drink, not from sex.
Yes, from smoking and drink. From, earthly, sinly pleasures.
Apart from prostitutes.
No, well, and apart from smoking and drinking. But we'll get to that. Well. No, but yeah, exactly. We'll get to that. So he is a God, you've spoiled it. He's a family man.
Oh no.
With 2 kids, a hard worker, and
do we need to put spoiler warnings in a movie that's 52 years old? I've got a feeling that at a certain point,
you really don't like.
Would you
You're
put
getting sick of spoilers already?
No. I was literally just thinking about that. I was like, would you put like, there's certain things that you don't need to spoil anymore. I mean, I think the popular. I'm sure after 5 years, for a lot of people, it's like,
what's your rule?
50. I think this movie. Come
right.
on.
This is where we get into it. What's your rule? What's your rule for spoilers? If someone had never seen The Sixth Sense, would you care about spoiling it for them? And they were like,
that's 22 years old. That's 12. 22. I was listening to a rival movie podcast, and as a joke, because someone had written in and was kind of getting snippy about them spoiling, they shouted out the spoiler for The Sixth Sense. So I was like, right, if Mark Kermode could do that on BBC, then I suppose it's okay for anyone to do it. That was on the radio.
Yeah, well, okay, well, no, but what's your rule then? I mean,
my rule is, see if a film's over 50 years old, it's probably all right.
That's not your rule, though.
I'm saying that's my rule for now. It also depends how I think about the film, I think.
So you're saying if we started this in 2018, we would not be able to spoil this movie?
Well, we didn't, though, did we? I'm looking at it. I can only look at it with the lens of today, and that's why I say.
You fuck.
Hey, well, it's your responsibility. So if you want to,
it's not my responsibility. It's our responsibility.
Well, peek behind the curtain. You're editing this episode, so if you want to worry about spoilers, then that's fine. You're kind of in charge. I don't know if I could spoil this film. I think I dreamt half of it. So
it's a film that is about a man's descent into both madness and Nazism.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's
a spoiler.
That's the best. But it's not really, because it's what the whole movie is about. Like,
yeah,
from the get-go, you get an idea of, like, yes, it's a bit breadcrumbed into the Nazism. They never actually say Nazi in the movie.
Yeah, there was a flyer, and I was like, is that Hitler? There was just a hint to the tash, and I was like, that's Hitler.
Yeah, right? No, it's not Hitler. It's Czechler. Yeah, so it's basically about this guy who's slowly like succumbing to
Kingle or something.
So his actual name is Carl.
Carl. I'm going to say Carl because
I'm not for one very specific point that I bring up later, and it's I know, sorry, but and he's he's portrayed as this very upstanding citizen who views his job very very seriously.
Everyone loves the cremator.
Everyone loves the cremator. Do you not go to your cremator parties?
Cremator parties, yeah. Cremation's the best, guys.
Yeah. So he's really into cremation, and he throws like parties for elderly people. Yeah, no, it is. It's for potential clients.
Yeah.
Where he expounds his philosophy of cremation mixed with Buddhist reincarnation. It's
very weird.
Like that. Like, this guy could have had his own full-on following if he hadn't been so into the cremating part.
Just burns all his followers.
Yeah, it's but it's very much like upstanding member of the community, and kind of middle upper class kind of lifestyle. And he's got, the nuclear family, and they're always dressed.
His son,
perfect.
No offense,
is the very definition of he's just the very definition of a wet blanket.
Yeah. He's just so weird looking, and those close-ups of him looking all just wet.
Right, the overdubbed voice he gets is not great. He gets this kind of. Father, we're going to Jan, Father. Button check, just button check.
Yes. He does try and butch him up by taking him to the boxing and stuff.
Yeah, he tries to. Yeah. So throughout the movie, his friend, whose name is Walter, throughout the movie, his friend Walter, who was an old friend from back in the Great War, where they fought together, comes over he first shows up at this, client get together, and then he invites him over for dinner. And the conversation turns quickly when Walter starts talking about the rising situation in Europe.
Yeah.
And how Germany's, really turning it around.
They got some good ideas.
It's a country with zero unemployment, zero poverty. I mean, they've kind of got things figured out over there, and it's a good economic situation. Maybe we should talk about this.
Yeah.
And it shows Carlo going into work, and when the conversation comes up about the rising situation in Europe, all the Czech workers are saying, like, I don't really know about that, and then he's kind of parroting whatever Walter had said the night previous, and you come to see that through bits and pieces, his upstanding, his appearing to be really well informed and on the point and superior man, through his standing in the community, is kind of all a facade. And as you said, he sometimes does drink, but it's always to the, it's that since it's a celebration, or it's ceremonial. It's we're raising a toast. It's just ceremonial, and he always has an excuse for why he's drinking. And he visits prostitutes. Doesn't have an excuse for that one. Well, he actually does. He's like, it's good for the body, and he actually goes to see a prostitute who is played by the same actress as his wife.
Didn't even know this.
You were like, boobs, let's do this. But you slowly see this unraveling through his fascination with death and liberation and fire, and he takes his family to this to the like fun fair, and there's like it's a carnival, and then he's like, this is shit, let's go see something cool, and he takes them to a death wax museum.
The wax museum bit was so weird.
That scene.
I don't even understand. I was like, are they supposed to be wax? Because the audience kept commenting on the fact that they look so real, and they're clearly just actors. So I was like, that guy just blinked. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's so good. It's like these people acting like wax. I don't know why they said wax. It shouldn't have been wax, because wax statues don't move. Like, they have the kind of like,
that's true. Yeah,
those
the
kind of
movement.
museums.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been that kind of thing, but I'm not going to pick that.
It might have been a translation issue, because I noticed that sometimes the subtitles I watched this on the BFI player, the subtitles weren't amazing.
Yes, they were. As I've said before, like, you can often tell the work that went into moving a movie over when the subtitles have spelling errors.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Boo on you, BFI player, or whoever you sourced this from.
Yeah. Not the best. I mean, the rip was fine.
Yeah.
The cop. Yeah. I live in the internet age. It's all rips.
It looked better than The Keep, which was
that was garbage.
years after. Yeah.
So he's slowly unraveling, or to the audience, this that it's kind of a perverted, and it's not that he sees. It's not a sexual perversion. It's this corruption of like. Or fascination, this overwhelming obsession with his cremation and the death and liberation, and there's a lot going on about like his he talks a lot about the Dalai Lama and Buddhism and, a place in Tibet, the Dalai Lama's palace in Tibet, and it really is, as he gets drawn into the into the kind of Nazism, as Walter kind of pulls him in, he slowly loses focus of like what his family mean to him, even ceremonially, and what his job, which is his life, which is his passion, mean to him, and what he might be able to achieve through those means. And you've got these great, like, he has new assistants that he tours the crematorium with, and it's like this. It's like one of those weird car guys where they're just like kind of salivating over it and telling you every little curve and detail, and he's got that kind of like
75 minutes from flesh to dust.
Yeah, so I will never forget how long it takes to burn someone, even if it's not true. That's going to be what's stuck in my head. And yeah, it's this like slow descent. But a lot of the way it's presented is where you see the descent rather than his actions. His actions are very rarely out of the ordinary, around his family, around anyone, actually. It's all the there's a lot of like fourth wall breaking, which is unusual for a movie in 1969.
There's a lot of looking right at the camera there.
Yeah, a lot of monologues from Carla himself. Yeah. And yeah, it's this what do you think of the second half then? Like,
let's save that for the review part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite liked. You mentioned the look at the camera. I thought it felt quite modern. I thought the style of it was quite modern in a way. It has this thing where it like the segues between scenes happen. It's often Carl talking to a character, and then as he's talking to the character, the camera moves around as he's without breaking, and you're actually in a different scene later on, or someone else, or whatever. And that's very cool. The scenes flow together really nicely. It's also quite disorientating because
it's so disorientating
on purpose. I know
totally,
that's the point, but it also I
absolutely.
found it quite disorientating at times.
It absolutely is, but it's a fantastic technique.
Yeah,
and done perfectly.
There's like a lot of snappy editing as well.
There's flash cuts all over the place.
So there's
sometimes subliminal cuts within scenes that are completely disparate to the things that to what's going on in the scene.
So I quite like that kind of stuff. I also thought the crematorium looked amazing. It was like some kind of Zoroastrian temple to me. I don't know why. Is that what they actually looked like? It did look religious, which kind of was in keeping with his viewpoint of what he was doing, freeing people's souls to the ether or whatever.
Just quickly going back to the cuts, one thing I really liked about it is the further the movie went on, it would often be he would say something sinister in context to what he says would always be applicable to both scenes.
Yeah.
And it would always be sinister in the previous scene and more innocuous in the incoming scene. And it's just a really, really well done. You know, there were definitely times where I was like, I didn't see that. Where was that cut? Because some of them are really easy. You know, he's just cutting to, like, you know, his cut to his response, and you're in the other scene already. It's nice and easy how to do that. The one where he's hanging up the picture. And it cuts. He takes off his trousers. He takes off his trousers, hangs up something on a wall, he steps down. And he steps down, and he's back in his own home.
Yeah, I was very confused because I was in the middle of thinking, what a horrible gift for a prostitute you like.
Yeah,
the flies in a frame.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I picked up on the Buddhism thing, and I was like, oh, a little Buddhism thing. There was no point thinking I was clever for doing that. Oh, dear.
So, the second half of the movie is...
the Buddhist half.
It's also the Nazi half.
Yeah, Buddhist and that, yeah. Well, what groups go together, like peanuts and chocolate?
I think you'd find... Well, swastika, is that not used in Buddhism and stuff? I think...
Oh, God.
There'd be weird... I bet you'd be weird. Yeah. But anyway. So, yeah, the second half is his descent into his Buddhist ideal dream /
it just happens to
Nazi
line right up.
And this is where... it might be a sneak peek of Ali's terrible theme corner. It's kind of the... So he uses the Nazi party more for his own gain than he does his belief in anything that they are doing. And that includes invading Czechoslovakia. Once it slightly lines up with his belief, he's totally all right with it. He's very happy to move. And there's a recurring character, a woman with black hair in a black dress, who appears mostly at either death-related or conscience-related moments. And it's always off-putting to Carl. You know, he always spots her, and he's always off-put by her. And it's always at these moments, these crises of conscience. And he always goes towards whatever will benefit cremation. He sees it. He sees it as the cleanest, form of death, of liberation, and that goes down to he gets in with the Nazi party because they ask him to go and spy on a Jewish ceremony.
Yeah.
And they're asking him questions about, did they said they wanted to take down Germany. They said that the Reich is wrong, and he's like, and he's more fascinated with the music and the singing within the ceremony, and he's just nodding along to whatever they say, because then immediately after he starts saying, but also, these people at my work, I just don't think they line up, and then these people were saying that what's happening on the border is not good, and the director, and it's all to be in line with his goals. And as the movie builds to its climax, his friend Walters talks about how his wife, Carlo's wife, mentioned to him that she's a half Jewish. And, you're great. You're an honest and decent man, Carl. And he begins to change his name into the German form. And call him by that. And he's like, you're an honest and decent man, and but she's just gonna hold you back. And that's where the two just start aligning, and he just completely spirals. Nazi Germany has a wonderful crematorium law. And that's kind of what he focuses on. It's like this wonderful, wonderful crematorium law, you know. And I think it's that kind of resignation of what is going to happen anyway. And I might as well make the best of it. And I can also see how I can use it to further what I actually want to do, which is cremator.
Cremate.
Nah. Why do you think it's called the Cremator, Donald?
Was that Ali's theme corner and
no?
Right,
no,
okay,
that's
okay,
not even.
okay,
That's
okay,
not
okay,
Ali's
okay,
theme
okay,
corner
okay,
yet.
okay.
We're not even there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is probably where we'll be heading into more spoilery territory.
Right. Okay.
You know, the full final climb, because, you know, there's a lot that goes on between all of these, you know, broad strokes that I've talked about. And it's not very, you know, none of it is very spoilery. It might sound it of, you know, he's going crazy and he's starting to get into Nazism. It's 1930s Czechoslovakia. And the movie makes very abundantly clear early on in the movie that this man's got something, like, he's off. He's not like your upstanding citizen. Even when he is the upstanding citizen, you're like, he's a bit intense. Like, you know, it's that kind of, there's a vibe off of him. What happens after is more the full climax, you know, the stuff that the movie has been building to. And if you don't want to see that, if you want to see that and don't want to hear about it first, this is where the spoilers kick in. So he starts hallucinating visions of himself as a Buddhist monk.
Yeah.
Basically saying that it's the reincarnation, it's everything you've been building towards, and in line with his pal Walter's you're kind of Jewish wife. So he ends up hanging her in the bathroom, and it's a scene where like you can see that she essentially knows what's gonna happen, especially and he's changing his story like all over the place, and it's in line with the Gestapo coming and taking away all the people that he's mentioned, including the cleaner that he sexually harassed at work, and, you know, just which allows him to become director. And there's a great moment at his wife's funeral, which happens to coincide with him becoming director, being the first funeral he's directing over. He says that he's going to miss her as, you know, it's poignant as the funeral director and your loving husband. And he puts that first. It's like, it's already, he's pushing those priorities, and he becomes more, and the thing is, this is like, it's definitely more in the dark than the comic side, but there is comedy to be had in it. Like, so he begins to, you know, start taking care of his family, because his son, he's effeminate and a quarter Jew, and like, he's not going to get into a German school. Like, you know, he speaks Czech at home. You know, I just don't think it's so. To Carl, that's like, take him out. So he takes him to the crematorium and he shows him around, and he takes him down into the furnaces, and there's a German soldier, and who's being buried in a closed casket ceremony. So it's been nailed shut, and he removes the nails and says, "Look, you know, it's a good German soldier." And then he bludgeons his son to death and shoves him into the coffin and re-nails it. And then he moves on to his daughter very quickly. And there's a great, like, kind of repeating of what he did, everything he did with his son, but with an impatience to it. and you know, when he was walking with his son, he's giving a speech about how, you know, there's great things coming, and, you know, how the crematorium is just such a beautiful place, and then there's a couple kissing on a large, like, you know, grave essentially, you know, marble, and he's like, no, don't look at them. You know, it's an immoral act. It's impure. You shouldn't be seeing that, and walks on, and with the daughter, it's just like, yes, look, here's that statue, and yeah, turn your head from them. Let's keep going, and there becomes this impatience to just get what he wants, and it all culminates with him getting a meeting with Mr. Nazi in Prague. Walter's like, you know, you've joined the party now, and here's the head of our branch. And without saying it, the movie says that he is going to run a concentration camp, essentially. He is going to, but the way he is communicated to us is by him just going on this like long rant of like, because they basically say it's top secret. You can't talk about it. We want to put you in charge of this, but it's top secret. And then he goes on this thing of like, with one, you know, with a furnace for one, I can burn a body in a minute. With the furnaces that can hold 100, 1,000, you know, and then he just goes on this rant about how it's going to be, you know, liberated souls pouring from the ashes, and the Nazis like, dude, top secret. And yeah, so but never actually says, you know, concentration camps, but it is all this like, it never actually explicitly says it all, like, of this, like, this is the Nazi party, and you're going to be concentration camps, and he frames it in a thing of they don't need to worry anymore, you know, and he frames that early on when he's kind of like snitching on people, when he's to Walter, when he's kind of like for his own gain, you know, he's like, it's for their own good. They just don't understand the vision we've got as Nazi cremators. So
not cremators of Nazis, to be clear.
No, yeah, Nazi cremators. And the final scene is basically he is getting driven away to go run death camps. And that's a story, but Jesus, the way it's shot is so fucking, like, I mean, for first of all, this guy watched Hitchcock, right? It's a black and white movie that has a bunch of close-up shots that quickly cut all over the place.
Yeah. I've not actually seen that much Hitchcock. I've only seen a couple.
Seen
Rear Window's good
enough, but yeah, it's the way it's shot. A lot of Carl's, I'll call him Carl now, just to get that out of the way
for convenience.
A lot of Carl's like mental state is more in the way the movie's shot. Like, you can see at the beginning he wants to be the man that he portrays himself to be. This abstinent, family, upstanding man. And there's a scene where he's looking at he's buying artwork, and he's looking round, and there's just these flashes every time he's looking at a painting of any nudity or sexualization.
Yeah.
And it's just flashing, and he sees one that's a bit more modest and a bit more religious, and he's looking at it, and he's saying I think, and you know, it's flashing to all the nudity he's just seen, and he's picking that one. and he buys a portrait of the president of Nicaragua, but he wants it to. He says it's he's playing it off to be the financial minister. In this kind of, you know, mirroring of what he is, of this you know, a man pretending to be something he's not.
I thought Rudolph was pretty good in this one, to be honest. Not seen him in anything else.
No?
Pretty...
You've not seen his extended body of work?
Apparently, he was a very big deal, but he's pretty magnetic in this one, I would say. I don't know. This might be his best performance. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to see the rest of his oeuvre, but...
Are you not sure?
I'm not sure.
Not sure, but might be sure, but not sure. But no, he puts in a hell of a performance. It reminded me a lot of James Spader.
That's weird. You're weird.
All right.
In The Office?
No, just
Robert
in whatever
California.
the hell James Spader, just whatever James Spader's been in. And I think it's because he does. It might be because he does. It's like a man who's never fully there, like focused, like in the moment. That kind of floaty, ethereal way of talking.
Yeah. The music's also ethereal, and it's on all the time. Well,
Warburton's.
all the time. What?
The Warburton's theme was.
I thought it was Hovis.
Oh, is it Hovis? Yeah, it's Hovis. Yeah. No, I know the song. It's not the song I'm confused by. It's the bread I'm confused by.
Well, maybe it's Warburton's. I'm not sure.
No, I think you're right. It's Hovis.
The Hovis hat.
Yeah. So
but apart from that, there's also lots of just choir.
Classical music
Yeah.
plays a big part in this movie.
Yeah.
He expounds the virtues of classical music and pities anyone that dies without listening to
The Hovis hat.
Chopin and Liszt.
Yeah. Really, it was only Rudolph's performance that I really loved. I mean, it felt almost like a bloody one-man show or something, or like a one-man play. The rest of it could have been happening. I don't know. It was a lot of him. Like, his wife's all right and stuff like that, but it was really him. It was the Rudolph show for me.
It really was. It's a one-man performance. It's not that the other performances are bad. Not counting his son. His son... I don't know what that is.
I was mostly transfixed by his visage,
ugliness.
rather. Poor guy. They made him look like that, though. They gave the Coke bottle glasses the horrible, like, slicked over hair.
Yeah.
He looks like my stereotype of a Nazi bureaucrat. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, he just looked far too wimpy for that. Like,
no, that's
so
what I mean. That's what I
unbelievably...
picture Nazi bureaucrats as, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like that kind of wimpy. I guess it's just kind of the wimp bully, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
Pencil pushers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, it's really strongly directed, and it's really strongly
the direction's
by the
really
main
good.
character.
I think the direction's my favorite thing about it. Even more. Like, Rudolph's performance, one thing, but it felt really... It didn't show its age in terms of filmmaking a lot of the time.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It does have, as you said, right at the start, it has a very modern style to it. Really, and like bold. Like, it really goes
stylish
for a lot of stuff. But no, it's very well shot.
Yeah.
But I have some other thoughts on it, Donald. Because it's time for Ali's theme corner.
Do we have music?
We don't.
I'll
put that. Yeah, I'll put that in. It's gonna be different every
week. They
week.
can still claim you based on the orchestra.
Yeah, because it's the performance. No, I'm going to perform it.
All right, okay, on a kazoo.
Yeah, this will be out when I buy a kazoo. So I did actually live up to my word and look a little bit into Czechoslovakia. Around the period that
well done.
This movie
before or
is
after you
set.
watched it?
After. I wanted to know that around the time that the movie's set, And I think a lot of this is a very, very big metaphor for Czechoslovakia's attitude during World War II. I'm sure that considering it is a Soviet era movie, where, you know, like that time things were kind of messy around there. I don't know as much about that. And I'm sure that there are themes that talk about that within this movie, but what really stood to me was the like Czechoslovakia's attitude to World War II. And Carl talks a lot about you know, it's a civilized society, and we, you know, peace is the only true, you know, World War One was such a you know, a brutal time and a barbaric time, and you know, it's better now that we live in a civilized society. And at that time, Czechoslovakia inherited a lot of what Austro-Hungary broke up into. So it inherited a lot of that industry. So it was a pretty well-off place to be.
Yeah.
Hence why, you know, like, they're all having cakes and tea, and like it looks like a very nice place to be, because it really was a very nice place to be. But as the borders start getting encroached, there's this worry of like we've done our fighting, like we've built this, like, and then there's Carl's making excuses to get what he wants. Like he will throw anyone under the bus if it just means that he'll be all right. He'll just be left alone to kind of do what he loves to do, and maybe actually they'll be able to help me specifically, not these people, because like, you know, they're nice, they're lovely people. But it's just, we see what's ahead, and it's just not going to work out for them. No, but that's the attitude. It's us. It's everyone, or it's just them. And we chose just them because we liked our lifestyle. We liked being comfortable and kind of well off. And if that means that a small portion of our society has to suffer for it, then it's not the worst thing in the world. And, you know, the Cremator's kind of a perfect, you know, analog for that, of this. You're sending everyone else to the fire. He talks about all this liberation of fire and it being the most satisfying and peaceful and what everyone should aspire to. And he'll throw even his closest family, even his flesh and blood children, into that fire because he's justified it to himself, not because he wants to go into that fire, but because they should have to do it. They should have to be the one to really make the sacrifice for all the wonderful things that I get to feel. And I feel that's what comes across. And it's this lying to yourself. Lying to yourself is such a huge part of this movie. You know, he there's a great the movie opens with him and his wife at the point they met 17 years ago in front of the leopard cage. And there's this, you know, it's him. It's like, that is who he will be. That is who he is. And slowly unleashing that throughout the movie. Like, he had it in him all along to throw people under the bus. But it's a real look at, like, that's what we did. That's what, like, we were happy to do. And again, I always put the caveat on this of, I'm not from there. I have never been here. Sorry, I'm not from here. I've never been here.
Whoa.
But I'm like, it's what I am getting from this movie. You know, it's...
Yeah, you don't need to disclaim every time.
I will
I'm
disclaim.
sure a lot of people think this is total bullshit. No.
Every time.
Powerful words there. From Reverend Ali.
By a moron. with a microphone. That's maybe what we should change this podcast to.
No, shut up.
Sorry, segment, just the segment.
All right, just a segment.
So that's it with, yeah. So that's pretty much it. You know, they are powerful words from an idiot, a moron with a microphone.
Reverend Ali theme.
And that's been Moron with a Microphone with Reverend Ali.
That's not very a kazoo. My kazoo noise earlier was better. No, I can't do it. I can't do the kazoo noise. Shit. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, review time, I guess.
So, yeah. Will we spoiler end?
Oh, yeah, spoiler end, I guess.
Spoilers are over. So, Donald, what did you think of this movie?
I didn't really like it. How long have you talked about how good it was? 40 minutes? Nah, I didn't really. Nah, found it pretty boring, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like, if you go to the like, I feel like this is going to be random. When you're in the cinema watching Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and like someone in front of you is like, "Oh, it's not fucking subtitled, is it? Oh, cry! I can't be bothered with this." That's what I feel. I feel like that person. When usually I would obviously scorn those people. But, after listening to you bang on about this, I've been like, I just found it pretty boring. The last 20 minutes, barely remember what happened. Well, obviously I remember the certain climactic moments and the end speech, which obviously I'm not going to mention details of because we're post spoilers. Was good, and bits of it were good. It was directed really well. And the acting was good. And I was just like, fuck. I checked the time elapsed in this film about 8 times. And every time I was disappointed.
Oh my God.
I was like, I can't be bothered with this. I don't think
you
it was a particularly
you
bad...
like the direction?
I don't think I was in a particularly bad mood. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that, like...
yeah, your mood can definitely affect how you enjoy a movie.
Yeah,
but
it could be coloured by it. But I was just... I don't know. I was just like...
Did you not like the story?
It's fine.
You like the direction, you like the acting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was engaging. It didn't engage me. I was like, right, okay, cool. It felt like, when Krusty loses Itchy and Scratchy, so he has to import the other show that's like Itchy and Scratchy, but it's not translated or dubbed or subtitled, and it's called Worker and Parasite, and it's just these two characters talking to each other, but you don't know what's happening because that's just what I felt like. I just felt like I was watching Worker and Parasite, being like, I'm going to wander off and do my laundry for a bit and come back. I'm so annoying.
Are you actually?
Am I what?
Oh, you were just editing. I thought you were about to do
my
that.
My acting's as good as Rudolph's.
Yeah. I really found this movie boring, plus here's a Simpsons analogy doesn't make you sound like the most cultured man in the world.
I don't know why I thought Worker and Parasite, but I did. Edit that bit out.
Absolutely not. It's all going in, mate.
It was fun. Like, I could see the worth of it. I feel like
I really enjoyed it. So can I just say I really enjoyed it?
Yeah, whatever. You're just going along with the fucking status quo. I'm here busting bubbles, okay? Like, I know I've more than once have said, oh, I could see the appeal, but it wasn't for me. And I think this is the most extreme example of, I actually really like aspects of it, but fuck off, would I ever watch this again? I can't be bothered.
Wow.
It would have been good if it was a 20-minute short or something. It wasn't even long. It was 95 minutes or something. Honestly, I was like, oh my, I just want this to be over. Oh.
I'm disappointed, Donald.
Well, it's my subjective opinions. You can't do anything about it. I just wanted something Donald? Scary or fun.
Do you know what, Donald? That hurts.
Oh dear. I just wanted something scary or fun. That's what I wanted.
Get it?
Yes, I was trying to ignore it, yes.
Aye. Well, you're not getting something scary or fun.
You're getting this.
You're getting Czechoslovakian Nazi analogies.
Well, see, that's the thing though, is because our last episode was Taxidermia, which dealt with some of the same things from a different country's perspective, and I loved that film. So you can't.
Apparently, you didn't win another one.
There's just less cocks in this one, so
a lot more tits though. So many
Didn't do
tits
nothing
in
for
this movie. I think you and the wife should have a wee chat.
Well, I'm unapologetically saying, nah, didn't like it. Don't want to watch it again. Wouldn't recommend it. What would I rate it on IMDb?
Wouldn't recommend it.
No, I wouldn't. If I
You
had to,
wouldn't recommend it.
No.
I think this might be the hardest we've divided on a movie on this podcast.
If I had to rate it on IMDb, going by my rating scale, it can't get a 6. Yeah, so it has to be a 5 out of 10.
Oh wow! I honestly thought you were. I'm actually shocked.
No, because I like the direction and I like the acting. It's not like a fucking. It's obviously
it's redeemable.
I can't sit here and say it's a failure of a film because I know it's not. I just didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would get like, I would heartily recommend this movie. It's not too. I think billing it as a dark comedy is a huge misnomer.
I breathed through my nose twice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I've watched like.
What is it? What actually is it then, Ali?
A surrealist drama?
Woohoo!
I'm not saying it's fun. I've not at one point said this is a fun movie to watch. Like it's the kind of thing of I've watched terrifying movies where twice in the movie they've made humor in it that I've gone. the bit that the Ghostbusters show up in The Conjuring, I laughed. It's a funny moment.
Oh dear.
No, but that's what I'm saying is movies can have comedy in them. Does not mean they get to be labeled comedies.
I know, but I'm like, this is probably the furthest away from horror we've got.
Yeah, it's a surrealist drama.
Yeah.
Pick better movies, Donald.
And listen, that's what it was billed as horror. Would I recommend anyone listening to this watch it? No.
No.
You should listen to a surrealist drama podcast, and then if you do, then yeah, watch it.
Yeah. We will talk to our friends at the Caravan Tour of Drama and see if we can arrange something. But yeah, no. If for the specific purposes of this podcast, I cannot recommend it as a horror movie in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's good. Thankfully, I've busted you down a bit then.
Yeah, no, totally. It's not a horror. But I see that as a failing on your part, not the movies.
I can only go with what it's billed as. And I mean, it could have been. It just didn't turn out to be that way.
But as a movie in general, yes, I do recommend it. I think I think there's definitely an... I'm just like the Nazis.
You learned nothing.
I know. But it's all for my own gain, Donald. It's all for my own gain. You can email us at caravantourofterror@gmail.com. See what I did there?
Yeah. Speaking of emails. Right, okay. I've got an email here. We got an email in. Tracy William? Or Tracy Williams, I'm unsure. So...
Is there an S at the end?
Sometimes. So she starts, "Hello dear, how are you doing? It's my pleasure to contact you for a long-term relationship. I was just surfing through the internet when I found your email address. I want to make a new and special friend. Let's keep in touch and get to know more about each other and see what happens in the future. My name is Tracy William. I'm from the United States, but presently live and work in England. Please reply to my personal email, tracywilliams702@gmail.com. So, right, that's Tracy without an E, Williams with an S on the end, 1L, 702@gmail.com. Feel free to email. I'll send my details and pictures as soon as I hear from you. Bye, Tracy."
It'd be really funny if this was just a poor, innocent woman.
Well, I just thought it would be easier. Rather than email her back, I thought she'd really get a kick out of it if she heard her name mentioned on the podcast. You know what I mean?
And her email address mentioned on the podcast.
Yeah, she told me that was fine.
Oh, that was your first correspondence. You back and forth since then.
Yeah. She said really good things about me on this podcast. Yeah. Really good. Mostly about me. Sorry.
Well, that's what...
You don't need to email us about a personal relationship, I should stress. Tracy just happened to inquire. But you can ask us other things.
You can. So
I can't wait for the alternative reviews.
Opinion.
I can't wait for the alternative reviews where all the troglodytes saying it's 1 out of 10 because it's subtitled. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it burned down the bourgeoisie.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that when I looked up reviews on Amazon.co.uk, where we both rented this movie.
I got a free trial for the BFI player. I didn't rent it. I would cancelling that trial in 13 days.
82% of reviews, 5 stars. 18% of reviews,
1 star. Oh, right, okay. Hey, now there's selection bias here. We're talking about a movie from 1969, Czechoslovakia.
No, Donald. 100% of people who have watched this movie think it's.
And I'm sure that's a slice of the average movie-going audience.
Yeah, until you put your Amazon review. You're gonna put your Amazon review on
0.001%. Me.
And unfortunately, none of them were funny. So on to IMDb we go. Jacob John Taylor 1 says he gave this a 1 out of 10.
Yay, Jacob.
He says, 8, you have got to be kinding.
Oh no!
I actually didn't notice how bad that title was.
Tracy Williams was a better orator than this man.
This is a boring, badly written movie. The acting not very good at all. It feels like a horror movie, but it is not scary at all.
Well, he's true. He's right about that.
Does it feel like a horror movie?
Well, no. I guess not. It could have.
It is not an 8, it is a 1. Do not see this movie, it is overrated.
Well, do you have anyone better than Jacob also saying that it's overrated?
Yes. I have Dale Arvich, 2 out of 10.
Nice.
Couldn't finish it. In fact, turned it off after 20 minutes or so. Lost interest. My IMDb ratings: 1, deliberately botched. 2, I don't want to see it. 3, I fast forwarded through it.
Oh my god.
4, bad. 5, I don't get it. 6, good. 7, great but with a major flaw. 8, great.
8's
9,
great. Rhyme.
9, noir with a moral.
Wait. Okay. I'm not even going to try and dissect that.
10, inspiring with a moral.
I've never fast forwarded through a film. Ever. Why would you do that?
Because you want to see further into the film.
But you've never watched it before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
This bit's boring you, but you think a bit later on's not going to bore you.
Then fucking sit on your hands and wait. What the fuck? Who's fast forwarding through a film?
Well, do you know what happens if you don't fast forward through a film, Donald?
What?
It's what happens to Visa GH Joker. Made me sleep and boring film.
I mean, I'm on their side. It bored the shit out of me.
Yeah, but if it makes you sleep, you're going to miss all the parts, and you might miss the interesting parts you might have fast forwarded to.
Yeah, I get it. But I've got a feeling that if we didn't have to have a conversation about it, I would definitely have turned this off 50 minutes in.
I mean,
and
there's a chance.
And I would have missed some of the best bits. True. But I still don't like it.
It's not at all a good film. They say it's a film with black comedy, but the problem is, it couldn't make a laughter in me. From the starting, it made me sleep. The only attraction is the chill that it makes.
Okay.
Also, the movement of camera is a distraction for the viewers.
Don't move
your camera, directors.
I do. That's the disorientation that we were talking about. You know, that not everyone will like that.
The last 2 points I will say are fair enough. The actors have done their part nicely. The script, in my view, is missing something.
That just sounds a bit more well
Totally.
thought out.
Yeah, totally. Those last two. That's why. That's
that?
what makes me. That's Visa, GH Joker.
No, I mean someone else wrote the last two bits, or he stole them from someone.
Yeah, that's why that like. I don't tend to do the badly written reviews like that. They tend to be badly written in a completely different way. But that one was just so like. The actors have done their point.
He is onto something. He or she is onto something there, because it's not a great combination if you're finding it a bit boring, and also it's got hallucinatory editing and purposefully disorientating scene segues.
Well, almost as if the director doesn't want you to watch the movie.
I mean, he's really saying you're either going to love this or you're sleeping. Yeah, well, yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't know that about the movie. But Donald, is there anything we do know about the movie?
What do we know about the movie? What? This is a terrible segue. I'm not with
Trivia?
You. Trivia? Nah. I look up trivia for movies I'm interested in.
Fuck, that's pointless.
There was fuck all trivia. Yeah, there was nothing. I mean, I could have done more, but didn't want to. There was your general stuff. This was considered for the Academy Awards, much like Taxidermia was. But no, you would actually think there would be more interesting stuff to talk about with this movie, but no, just boring. Editing all that out.
Fucking hate you, honestly.
That's why I replaced it with the email bit. Hey, we don't need to always have trivia. We don't always have...
None of the actors had much trouble shooting in the crematorium besides Jerry Menzel, who played Dvorak. Music composer Zdenek Liska bet a box of champagne to the cameraman Stanislav Milota that the film would not be successful or stick to the script. Liska was forced to buy Milota the wine after it was completed.
This is as interesting as I found the film. Yep. Remember all the good See, I was thinking maybe it's the age of it, but this movie was allegedly banned for a while. After all the, Soviet stuff, as you do. So maybe the trivia had disappeared with it.
Maybe.
I don't care.
You don't care? Yeah, you really don't. The movie was originally shot in color, wanted to be. The director wanted to be shot in color. And that's it for Donald's
thank
trivia
God. Oh, don't fucking put my name to any of that.
Yeah. No, it's your trivia you can. I can't do anything about it. You were the one that started the trivia.
No. No. I have a bar for trivia. Sometimes trivia doesn't meet that bar. This didn't meet the bar.
Now you're just...
I don't know if I could... Is it healthy I could make that noise so effortlessly?
As a man who's slept next to you, yes. Yes, it's healthy. Just keep sleeping like that and hopefully you won't make the noise anymore.
Oh, dear. Other films to watch. If you want a different perspective of the horrors touched in this film, and a film that I liked, you should try Son of Saul, which is... I mean, it's billed as a drama, but it's way closer to horror. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing, isn't it? I suppose Holocaust dramas probably don't want the stigma of the horror genre being attached to them. I don't. They might think that it's exploitative when it's just a description of a film that's already been made. Like Son of Saul is really affecting and horrifying, and it's hard to watch.
Your Nazi movies tend to either be in the vein of completely serious or balls to the walls mental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can dissociate enough from the mentalness.
Yeah. I don't feel like the horror tag should carry that kind of negative stigma, because
I don't either.
It's literally horrific is definitely what you describe some of the events that Son of Saul and this film touch on as being, at least, incredibly horrific. But anyway, yeah, so I'd say Son of Saul, although it's, again, not a horror movie, but a really affecting, disturbing drama film. You ever seen it?
No.
Very interesting. It's the entire movie is shot from the close-up point of view of the protagonist, so you can only ever. So it's kind of a nice way to like hint at the atrocities that are around him, and it doesn't always, it doesn't always show you what he's reacting to and stuff. So it's like an absolute, like this film, it's an absolute tour de force performance from one person. And the actor was a poet from New York who wasn't particularly into acting, and then he managed to carry a film for 90 minutes.
That's what always happens in this nonsense.
Yeah. I've got it on Blu-ray somewhere. I should lend it to you. It's good. Or you could just rip it, as you do. I don't know what streaming service is on, but yeah, Son of Saul is really good. It was nominated for an Academy Award, didn't win. Some shit probably won instead. I'm going to look that up right now. Because I don't think it did win.
I'm definitely not editing this bit out. Because it won Best Foreign Language Film at the 88th Academy Awards.
Okay, that's good.
You fucking idiot.
I thought it didn't win, which is weird. The 88th. What was it up against? You're going to have to edit this back, because I'm now just Googling stuff for a minute, right? So,
Embrace of the Serpent, Mustang, Thebe, A War.
Nah, I just misremembered then. Good. You should watch it. Please tidy this section up.
I will.
Listeners, if you can hear my voice right now, he was too fucking lazy or useless to tidy the section up, and I apologize.
I'm just going to remove all the long pauses and just make it seem like you're just having a dissociative...
a fugue state episode.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, that's a Cremator. Well, don't watch it.
Well, that's the Cremator. Give it a watch.
Don't watch it.
Give
Official
it a watch.
Podcast rating 5 out of 10.
Like 6.5 to 7. If you average out our scores.
That's still enough to get angry emails, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Send them to caravantourofterror@gmail.com.
I thought you were going to give my email out.
Put Donald in the subject line, just so he knows it's because he hated the movie. Because I really enjoyed it.
Boo.
And do you know what else I enjoyed?
What?
My time here in Prague.
Yeah, it's nice.
Where are we off to next?
I'm sweating a lot from all this Svíčková I've eaten. I've had 8 plates of it today. We're going to Poland to take in The Lure, a fishy horror musical.
Amazing. Musical?
Fuck knows. I don't know.
I honestly think you have a dartboard with countries and movies on them, and you're just...
No, right. There are more worthy bunny ears films that we could watch, but I want to watch something that's a bit closer to an actual goddamn horror movie.
And you chose the fishy
horror musical, yep.
Okay.
I did, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Try and stop me, you can't.
I can.
You can't. It's on Netflix. Hey! It's from 2015. Hey!
I can't stop that, but I can encourage you to start this goddamn caravan and get us going, because I'm really interested to... I don't care. You were the one that chose to eat all the Svetlana.
Have
so
you seen what
get
I've
moving.
done to the chemical toilet?
It is now a chemical toilet, trust me. It's horrible.
It's too delicious, I can't stop.
I can't wait for Donald to be wrong again next week.
I think I'm lactose intolerant.
Don't stop drinking the milk then. It's bad enough that there's
The
dairy
creamy
in the...
sauce is so good.
God, I'm going to have to sort them out. We'll see you next week. Oh God, it's a God, Donald.
I'm just going to be munching on my dumplings.